Anybody else got any uplifting information?
Hey, Joe's yard looks nice down there. I seen his wife out there blowing.
Yes, his wife worked hard on that.
Yes, that's what I said. I seen his
Yeah.
wife out there working today.
You cannot intimidate me over that. Tried it for 35 years. It just doesn't work. She just does what she
How sad
wants
is
to
that?
do.
All right, it's 5:30. I'm going to call the Tippecanoe Common Council meeting to order and begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First item on the agenda are the minutes from the last meeting.
I move to approve the minutes as written.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as submitted. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Any amendments this evening? Hearing none, this is the second meeting of the month. We'll begin with the Board of Works and Safety.
We had a meeting with just two department heads today, fire and police. Chief Bittner gave us an update on the pre-bid meeting for the public safety update, the project. There was 19 representatives there, GC reps there, and they're hoping we get at least half of that in bids would be nice. So that process is, I think, another week or two till those bids are due. Lots going on at the fire department, lots of training. We got our DEA license, which Chief Bittner says was a little bit easier than the State Board of Pharmacy license for our ALS care. Nothing other. We did have a firefighter sustain a very serious injury, an Achilles injury. So like Halliburton, they'll be out for quite a while. And the firefighter department was already possibly going to be in the red for wages. So we may see a request for some appropriations from the council, whether that's going to be filled with part-time or try to refill that spot with a full-time, or what's going to happen is yet to be determined. But we were already possibly going to be in trouble with wages before this. So that was about it for the fire. And then for police, the two new hires were actually attended the Board of Works meeting today. They went down today was their first day. They started getting all their uniforms together. Let's see, we have one officer possibly in process to transfer to another department. So we have started a process to potentially hire his replacement. They've had 7 applicants so far. Police. Other than that, not a ton of updates on the police side, so that's about it.
Very good. I don't believe the golf advisory has met
No.
recently. A couple of our quarterly meetings. We did meet Solid Waste District Board meeting today. Actually had quite a healthy meeting. Really want to provide some credit and kudos to Angela Shelton, who's come on board as a new executive director, helping do some general cleanup of the facility, organizing a little bit to make the facility a little cleaner for guests. And then today we actually took action on some State Board of Accounts. They come in and do audits of units of government. So today we actually executed 3 of those audit requests that were provided by State Board of Accounts. A lot of them were internal control related, but again, kudos to her that these have come up in recent history, and Angela, 2 months on the job, has taken care of those. So kudos to her, and looking forward to continue efforts on her part. Next then for report is Planning Commission.
No quorum, no meeting.
Moving on, Utility Board.
Utility Board met last Monday in these chambers, and everything running pretty smooth. The water tower should have been filled and disinfected on the 19th. Should be ready to use soon. They finally got all the electrical work done. Other than that, everything running as normal.
Very good. Youth Council is gearing up to get kicked off this semester, so looking forward to another good group of students. both at Tipton School Corporation and also Tri-Central. Moving through our agenda, and I do see that Nikki has joined us. Are you prepared, or do you want me to skip to my report and jump back to you?
I can do whatever you want me to do.
Well, if you're ready.
Sure.
Next on the agenda, our new business EMS report from EMS Captain Nikki Moss.
So we pulled numbers from our EMS billing company, who was able to provide us feedback from March 1st of 2024 through March 1st of 2025. It looks like with what we have billed out and what we have gotten back in, our current balance is sitting at $281,830. That is April 25th's beginning balance is what they were showing. When it breaks it down, our revenue was $121,430. We have approximately $79,000 in collections. And then when we look at costs associated with what we have purchased this year, we have we were able to implement Lucas devices across our ambulances. That was approximately, let's see if I can find that. I know we have the Lucas devices. We have Hand Heavy, which is our pediatric system. That was roughly $3,300. Our Stryker maintenance program for 3 years was approximately $12,400. Our Knox Vault that we purchased for our ambulances, we have one in the ambulance and one for our station narcotics. For those being purchased was $5,500. And then monitor mounts, which what securely mounts our LifePak 15s in the back of the ambulance. So if we are involved in a crash or a fast deceleration, those are secured and we don't have to worry about a patient or a provider being injured in that. Those were roughly $1,600. So those are one-time expenditures that we had for those mounts and those vaults, which are also coming into things that are required by the DEA that we needed, the narcotic vaults, as well as the mounts in the ambulances. There will be a new state law passed that everything over 3 pounds has to be secured somehow in the ambulance. So we were ahead of the ballgame for those things. We also had paramedic school for 2 firefighters. One was approximately $7,334 and another one was $6,637. However, we've lost one to another agency at this time and another one that we believe is looking for another career path.
So then to offer the council a little context here, I want us to get in the habit, the ritual of an annual assessment on EMS, how it's operating, mostly so we can keep in connection with the operation, really challenging this to operate as it should be, similar to a business would be, similar to what SEALs, I guess, would operate in this community. But then also as we near this deadline, expiration date of the current contract, that we are all up to date on its performance now and into the future, but then also trying to make sure and plan for these expenditures largely from a capital perspective. When the ambulance needs to get replaced, that we are operating in such a manner that allows us to make those capital improvements so they can continue to operate the department efficiently and effectively. So if council has any questions today, I was probably putting you all on the spot, but this is what I'm expecting us to get into. Probably fall closer to the calendar year as we get into the future, but this will be our first EMS report on its performance. Do you know roughly the monthly revenues on average?
Around 10,000.
Okay.
And that is not including the 79,000 that's sitting in collections. So, yeah, if we had that, it would be more obviously, but that's what's sitting waiting from MedBill for collections.
Okay. Do we have an assessment on how long it takes to collect?
Usually their turnaround times really well because most
Good.
of it's Medicaid, Medicare, things like that. Those get turned around quickly.
Okay,
When they're self-pays, that takes a little bit more time.
sure.
And then if they go into the collection phase, I'm not sure how long that takes.
Any other questions from the council?
I have two, and this may not be like available or known right now, but if we have 121 that we've received, 79 in collections, which could be bad debt. I mean, we may not ever collect some of it, and then we get 180 from the county.
Mhm.
Are we profitable? Like, is that, to Keegan's point of running this like a business, if we're losing money, we're going to have to find other solutions. It's got to come from shortfall, have to come from somewhere in the budget. Ask the county for more, or I don't know what else you can do. Because I think a lot of our rates are set by Medicare, if I'm right.
So the collection rates, yeah, Medicare and Medicaid will only pay a certain dollar amount. So anything above that is either written off or passed on to the patient themselves for that.
Right.
And then if they're self-pay or if they are private insurance of some kind, they're billed at a different rate.
Yeah. So our opportunity to bill a non-Medicare patient would be about it. And even then, we don't know what that would be.
Mhm.
So do we know if we're operating at a loss?
We do not. I do not know that answer, but that's part of this exercise is to gain that familiarity,
Yeah.
so that as it's not expiration of the contract with the county, and then we do the assessment and figure
Yeah.
out that we're operating at a loss. So
Understood.
that's kind of part of all this discussion.
Awesome. No, I think it's got to start somewhere. And then you were sharing that a lot of the capital expenditures, they may last longer than a year. So while we
Correct.
realize the cost this year, they may last 3 years. So
Yep.
we could lose money the first year or two, but once we figure everything out, we should be in a better spot.
Absolutely. Things like the narcotic vaults,
Mhm.
things like that are really going to be a one-time expenditure. The hand heavy system for that things, but we will always have maintenance on our power pots, things like that we'll have to keep up on.
Mhm.
And then I'm super glad we hired Nikki, but as the subject matter expert, if you could just, what is like one challenge or threat you see that EMS may have in Tipton for the
Manpower.
future? Manpower?
Yeah, we don't have enough people,
Not enough paramedics?
not enough paramedics.
And if you, I think I know the answer, but if you could attribute that to one thing, what is it?
Pay.
How many firefighters aren't paramedic qualified? Do you know that?
We only have, I believe, 2 of our firefighters that are paramedics as well. I'm sorry, 3 that are paramedics as well. So
One
they
just
don't-
ruptured his Achilles, right?
Yeah, one of them did, yeah. So, and they aren't typically on the ambulance, so we have our 3 civilian paramedics for that. But as a paramedic who has worked fire department, private, in the hospitals, I mean, they can go anywhere and make more money, so we are having trouble getting good quality candidates or any candidates at all.
When you've worked for fire departments elsewhere,
Mhm.
are most of the, that have ALS service, are most of the firefighters also paramedic qualified, or is it split?
So I'm a full-time firefighter at Fishers.
Right.
We are all firefighters, and then about 3/4 of us are paramedics, with about a quarter of them being EMTs. We're very paramedic heavy down there.
In your estimation of other departments, is that normal?
It depends on the department. If they are ALS and they run themselves, yeah, usually they have quite a few medics, especially when you get down into like Hamilton County. I can't attest to Howard County or the other
Right.
counties around us, but I do know that we run heavy.
Okay. Well, you remember when we set this up, the thought was we would hope that the firefighters would want to become also paramedic certified and that we could pay them more. Now, I don't think we'd take, full paramedic pay and then give them paramedic and firefighter pay. That's not feasible. But if a firefighter makes X and they become paramedic qualified, they would make substantially more to try to incentivize. And most of the runs are medic runs. I mean, we average like 1 structure fire a month.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what we just got to incentivize and push more for. Because to Nikki's point, Captain Moss's point, we're not going to find civilian paramedics. So what we pay. So awesome. That was it.
Any other questions for Nikki? Hearing none.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Thank you.
Captain Moss.
Thank you.
No items under old business. Under mayor's report, we conducted a DNR walkthrough on the trail project last Friday. That went well with DNR. Also on West Street, we're near that stage of the punch list. The final top coat of the asphalt has been completed. So there's still some things left to be done, but the project itself is largely complete. On East Street, the water main over there, you may remember that we actually had two water mains under that road. We have combined them into one. That work has been completed. Work over there has gone really well to date. Some things that we ironed out last week in a project team meeting to make sure we got everyone on the team and communicating as such. But so far, the work out there has gone well. As Nate had mentioned in the pre-bid meeting for the public safety building, we had over nearly 20 contractors who showed up for that pre-bid meeting. That's a really strong indication for that project. We've been working hard trying to recruit contractors in the region to get some familiarity and interest, and we're hoping that that's working. And the last one is a little bit of a change. The state, some of it through the new administration, some of it in NDOT has changed the way the community crossings matching grant program is going to be facilitated. They typically do 2 application periods, one in January, the second in July. They've now changed that to once a year. Not only that, but they changed the application period to be in October. The first one being this October. So to do that, we needed to close out our 2024 project by the end of this month. We were not able to do that because West Street is part of that project closeout. So we are not going to be able to apply for CCMG dollars until October of 2026. So this is just notice for the council. While we won't do CCMG projects next year, there'll be a lot of road maintenance projects that we do. Some of it actually credit to Dylan. It has contacted the county and some of their practices that they use out in Tipton County. But then also we tried that liquid road from Sealmaster this year on North Street and Washington. So we'll probably look at doing more of that heading into next year, really emphasizing the need for crack sealing to make sure that we're extending the life of these roads through other mechanisms. So just want to give the council a little bit of notice there. The notice from NDOT caught us by surprise when they bumped back the application period, but then also limited to 1 application a year has also probably suggests that the applications are going to be incredibly competitive. As previous, they weren't as competitive as so long as you completed the application and had a worthy project. They seemingly got funded, but our confidence in that is decreasing with this. Moving on then to resolutions and ordinances, 2 items up for consideration this evening. The first is Resolution 2025-13. Resolution of the City Common Council declaring certain street department equipment vehicles as surplus. This has been ongoing work out of the street department to identify what things we are and are not using. And so what you have today is a list of items that have not been in service, some of these for several years. So that's for consideration today so that we can migrate those to the items that can be auctioned off that are still usable for somebody to auction those off, and then the others to dispose of.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2025-13.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution 2025-13. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The second is ordinance 2025-10. It's an ordinance repealing ordinance 2021-04 on the garbage and trash, chapter 6, and adopt a revised version of chapter 6 on first reading. This is directly related to the trash ordinance for the city of Tipton.
We did catch one thing at the last minute. Section 6.9, sorry, Tammy, we've been back and forth on this, so we didn't catch it till the last minute. Section 6.9, billing and collection fees. The second sentence talks about a $30 per month charge per dwelling or residence having a business located within the dwelling or residence. I know Rich and I talked about it, I think Keegan's meeting. We thought about just striking that. We don't track it now. It's not quite easy to track who has a home-based business and who doesn't. So while I kind of get the reasoning behind it, it's not very tenable or enforceable for Dylan to go around or trying to track who has a home-based business and not. They can get an extra tote for a fee, but they can't, it's not like it can be overflowing. They can't violate any other section. So we probably just remove that clause.
What are you wanting to happen?
Section 6.9, billing and collections fees.
Yeah.
We have a rate for 22 per month, but the second sentence says, and 30 per month per dwelling or residence having a business located within the dwelling or residence. We would just remove that section because we're not using it now and it's not very feasible
So it'd be a standardized $22 per month.
per dwelling or residence.
So just strike and $30 per month per dwelling or residence having a business located within the dwelling or residence.
That is correct. Other than that, I think everything else is
Does that need a motion? To strike that?
Would
I
you
think
want a
we,
motion for that first and then
to
motion?
amend the,
Yeah. So I'll make a motion to amend section 6.9 to strike
$30 per
and
month.
$30 per month through the end of that sentence.
Second.
we have a motion and a second to amend the proposed ordinance 2025-10 to strike the sentence in section 6.9 and $30 per month down through the remainder of that sentence, standardizing the cost of $22 per month per dwelling. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2025-10, including the new
Amendment.
amendment to that.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. The other supportive information I'd offer is the rate increase is to justify or to create the revenues to purchase a second truck. Today, we have an environment where if our automated truck goes down, we have to call all labor in to pick up trash manually. And additionally, our trash route today, if you're in an automated truck, you have to work through lunch to get the route picked up before the end of the day. So some of this is helping to create a better culture in which our drivers are experiencing, but then also to prepare and to create a more efficient pickup process for the city to put in.
It's still half price of that. Another service coming in.
Correct. So there's a motion and a second to approve ordinance 2025-10 on first reading. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We are now to claims.
I move we approve for payment claims 180172 through 180277 in the amount of $686,001.20.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Questions, discussion?
Yeah, I just seen something. I just kind of, it's not an edit night, so it nothing to do with me, but I just kind of curious. I seen where we're gonna remodel the office or something.
Correct. Yeah, we're adding 2 offices back. Some of this is in preparation for, as we have discussed, moving the planning commission to become a city planning commission. So some of this is adding additional space for those inclusion of those individuals.
Okay.
Any other questions this evening? We have a motion and a second to approve claims totaling $686,001.20. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We're now at petitions, comments, and memorials.
Andy Comfort, 306 Rosewood Street. This is probably directed to you, Mr. Mayor. What conversation, if any, have you had about expanding our city limits to get more tax revenue in the city?
What a good question. There has been continued conversation, some with property owners, some not with property owners, more of a conceptual practice. But I can share that at least it's been a discussion had on, I would say, nearly every quadrant of the city.
And any closer to?
Some of those are predicated, would be predicated on expansion of utilities. For example, Leininger Acres has been an area that has come up more from a emergency response situation. As the health department of Tipton County convened a meeting back in late 2023. It was more about failing septic systems. A similar conversation was brought to my attention from a homeowner in Cicero Heights. So those have been from an emergency perspective. And then as we've had conversations with housing developers, some of those areas, some are already in city limits. For example, Ben Heffelmeyer's property on the west side, Buttonwood Phase 2, but then there's additional areas that are still adjacent to those that would require annexation. But none of those are in a position to formally execute annexation.
Thanks.
I'd happily invite any neighborhood that wants to be annexed voluntarily to petition the city to annex them.
Rebuttal, I know that an individual said that they agreed to be annexed in the city, and our last mayor didn't act upon it in time. So why not approach those individuals now? To see if
Do you
they
know-
would be willing?
It's the homes by the jail.
Yeah.
The problem with, just my opinion, the problem with trying to annex only 8 homes that then request city services, we'd actually be more upside down
Yeah.
than we are now. We really need all of Leininger Acres to voluntarily annex so we can close the loop and have some economies of scale there. So again, I would welcome any neighborhood, Dover's View, Maxey Homes, if we can get a majority of them that want to voluntarily, it'd be easier. But it's hard for us to do that unless it's voluntary. So.
Well, I might add that I'm sure the negotiations for the jail, there was money set aside and negotiated and appropriated for those homes.
To be in the city limits?
It just never happened. As I recall, it was like $78,000.
That sounds familiar.
We'll take it.
It's probably gone now.
Bob?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Bob Edinger, Tipton. Certainly nice to see West Street open. This makes life a lot simpler.
I bet.
And I've also noticed that you have not taken away the parking on the east side. And I know for myself, but more for the other neighbors who I've talked to, would certainly like to keep it with parking. And there's a middle block there, it's quite busy.
Correct.
And if you go to the other side, just gonna get busy with people living there, let alone if anyone wants to come visit.
Mm-hmm.
So I, for one, would certainly like to see it stay with parking. I don't see a problem with that, and I think the street is actually wider than it was before. Thank you.
Bob, can you wear a different Rocky shirt to every meeting, please? It's motivating.
No, it took me 49 years to get there. Pretty cheap.
Any other questions?
No, that's important.
Okay.
I'm motivated now. Got the eye of the tiger.
There's nothing else. I accept the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is seconded to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.
He's not going anywhere.